Hello, it's me, and always happy to bring you another unboxing, this one coming from Australia, where there is some incredibly good talent out there. Now, you may have noticed over the years that when I do unboxings, which I find to be among the more popular videos for some reason, and it's also the easiest for me to make because all I gotta do is open up a box. You may notice that I don't do unboxings of mass-produced puzzles. There's a reason for that. So you'll only see me doing unboxings of more rare or perhaps 3D printed puzzles. And the reason is because I figure these are puzzles you can get. My main reason for unboxing is to demonstrate the work of various creators, to try to get more, I guess, publicity for them. Whereas with mass-produced puzzles, that's something that you can easily obtain yourself, and that's already been vetted, so to speak. There's more reasons, which I can get into later. Anyway, so what is this? So it's cubic, and I always like cubic puzzles. Let's see if I can do this without damaging myself or the puzzle. Neither of which I can make any guarantees, but with the right surgical precision, I can maybe get us through. So it's lightweight, so it looks like it's 3D printed, which is pretty much prototyping as opposed to modification or mass production. Okay. Now I'm still not sure exactly what this is, so I don't want to carefully open it, because I don't always remember. This looks interesting. It looks very classic in its shape and its color scheme. So there must have been something about this that really caught my eye, aside from how good the packaging is. So what do we have? Oh, alright. Fascinating. This is a bandaged puzzle, and it looks like a bandaged 3x3x4 of sorts. Is it like an AI version? So bandaging is one of those ways of making a puzzle much more challenging. This is really well put together, almost like it's mass-produced. It feels like it's mass-produced. So you got the top part, which is like a normal 3x3x4, and you've got the bottom part, which is where the challenge comes from. Now, I don't think I have any bandaged cuboids, so this will be interesting. It moves like a cuboid. So we'll see what effect that actually has in terms of the solve experience. So this comes from Dahmon4511 from the twistypuzzles forum, and he wanted to send this over to see just what I thought of it. And like I say, the reason why I like to do unboxing is to showcase what looks to be good talent. And you can see it's flawless the way that he's combined everything together, whether it be epoxy sculpt or whatnot, and has put together a very, very solid looking bandaged modification. In terms of the challenge, well, it's not a puzzle like anything that I have, so who knows what kind of challenges it'll bring. But it looks like it almost looks like a bicube on the top, the way that it's organized. So, Dahmon, thank you very much. It looks fantastic, and it looks like it's going to be a nice little challenge. So I'm going to come back at you later with that. Thanks for watching. Hello, it's me, and I wanted to demonstrate this really fantastic modification that I had unboxed a while ago. This is from Dahmon4511. That's his name on the twistypuzzles forum. And here's what's unusual about this. He actually sent this to me. It was a gift, basically. This is really what I enjoy the most about doing what I'm doing, posting videos and whatnot, is every so often I get an opportunity like that where somebody just wants to show me their puzzle. So it's with great honor that I'm able to demonstrate this, and I gotta say he did an incredible job with this. So this is the first bandaged cuboid that I have, and that's what he called it, a bandaged 3x3x4. But I'd actually go so far as to say it looks like the first AI cuboid, because it has an AI type look to it. You've got this 2x2x4, which is just like this 2x2x4. Then you've got this 2x2x2 bandaged portion, and you've got a 2x2 portion over here. So it's one potential form of an AI cuboid, and it's really derived from the same puzzle over here. Now you can see what great craftsmanship he did. as you look at it, you can't really tell at all that these are fused pieces. So he really did a good job of fusing these together. This is really a professional grade puzzle. It's as good, if not better, than anything that you might buy at HK Now store or any of the other places to buy mass-produced puzzles. So I'm really looking forward to other works that that he has coming on the pipeline, and I'd be very interested to see what else he has. So taking a look at the puzzle, it really moves well. Now the 3x3x4s are known to move very well. They're nice moving puzzles. Our typic cuboids, so too does this, but it's seamless in what he did with the bandaged portions. So I figure, why don't we go ahead and scramble this and solve it? Just like an AI puzzle, you have to position it in order to get a good scramble. Now the thing about bandaged puzzles is it really takes you out of your comfort zone, because you know, it's one thing to solve a 3x3x4 over and over and over again, and it's really just basically doing the algorithms until you have it down by muscle memory. And how many times can you do that before you just kind of store it away for a while? But this takes you right out of that, realizing that you can't use the usual algorithms that you can use, and because this doesn't shapeshift, because you can't do all the moves, there's a degree of bandaging that cuboids have anyway, you really have to design something of a strategy to get it in. So let's see what happens if we scramble this and how well we can do this. So notice we're kind of locked up, so what I want to do is I want to take this chunk and move it over to here. So I'm just going to move it up here, turn, and move this down. So I've got these two together, so I've opened up an R move, and I've opened up these two U moves, and between those R's and the U's I can get something of a scramble here, so I'm just going to keep going. Nothing I can do about it now. I'm now committed. So let's see if I can mix it up a little bit. If I move this over here, then maybe I'll move that over here. So there is a limitation in the degree of scrambling, but that just means there's a huge limitation in the degree of solving moves that I can do too. So again, I'm just trying to mix things up a little bit more over here, maybe bring this over here a little bit, bring this down over here. So what do we think? Okay, so now that we have this all scrambled up, we're going to go ahead and see what it takes to solve this, but I think I'll compare it to the solve of a normal 3x3x4 just for kicks, just to show you the extra challenge. And again, I still maintain that this is more of an AI cuboid, which is really quite brilliantly done in order to get that aspect of it. So the first step that we would do is we're going to try to solve the bottom layer, and we're going to put it in what I would call a ready position. So when I move it like this, these two are now where they're supposed to be, but I'm very restricted in my movement. So a ready position is I'm just going to move this to the side here and move this over here so they're next to each other. That way I get all R moves and all my various U moves. So at least I've got that to work with, and I can maybe do some of my algorithms. So I'm going to try to get these two layers here. If I were to do that in this case, then you know, you see the white one over here. To get the one on the bottom, I'd simply start moving this into place, move this over here, and move this over here, move this over here, and then using sliding U techniques. Alright, so sliding U technique is I'm going to take this, move this in position where I can do 2R, slide it to the left, 2L, slide it back to the right, 2R, slide it back to the left, 2L. So that's no problem. This one can also be done with sliding U. Now understand, this only scrambled with the top, this will only scramble with this layer over here. So I can just start putting things in with sliding U technique. So I want to find the blue, well actually blue and red. So here's the blue over here. I can actually start moving in, well, so the blue and red will be over here, move it over here, turn it to the right, slide it to the left, double turn on the left, slide it back to the right, up on the right, back on the left, up on the left, and that's it. Now I have to put in the center. Here's the center here, so I'm going to move it in from the middle, slide it to the right, double turn on the right, slide it back to the middle, do 2M, slide it back on the right, 2R, and now that's back in. So this one I want the red and green. Here's a red and green here. Do 2R, slide it to the left, 2L, slide it to the right, 2R, slide it to the left, 2L. So we're quickly getting this in. I've got green and orange that need to come in. green and orange. Here's a green and orange, but it's the wrong one. It actually belongs here. It would be flipped if it didn't belong here, but belonged over there. It's actually on this side, so I'm going to move on, because by putting this in, it'll knock this out. Orange and blue right here. Move it to the right, slide it in on the right, or do a 2R, slide it to the left, do a 2L, slide it back on the right, 2R, slide it back on the left, 2L. So just batting it back and forth. This one was batted out. So now we can move this one in, do a 2R to bring it in here, slide it to the left, 2L, slide it back to the right, 2R, slide it back to the left, 2L, and next thing you know, you've got these two layers solved. So I'm going to do the same thing here, but I can't do any sliding U techniques. So the way I'm going to variate this is I'm going to try to put, well, let's see. I'm going to try to put these two pieces in here, and then these three over here. This is going to be the orange and blue, so let's find the orange and blue. Put this into ready position. Orange. So here's an orange, blue, and white. So I just have to find the orange and blue edge, which is over here. So I just move this into here. Now what I want to do is I want to move it next to. I want to move it over here. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm basically going to do a, I guess I can do a corner swap. Looking at these as corners, do 2RU. Well, I guess what I can maybe do is I can do a sliding U technique. Bring this over here, move it in on the right, slide it to the left, do a 2L, back on the right, 2R, back on the left, 2L. Okay, so I have this over here. The reason that I did that is when I take this out of ready position and put it here, I move it twice like so, bring it in over here and move it down, you can see this is in. So now I want to move this chunk in, which is going to be the green, red, and white. Put this in ready position. Okay, now that I have this, what I want to do is I want to get my other whites, my white, green, and red. So I'm going to want to find the green and red, the other white. It's actually over here. So I got to move this up. See, we'll get this out of the way. Move this up over here. And just move this out the way over here. Now instead of doing a sliding U technique, I'm just going to flip this by doing a 2RU, 2RUI, 2R. This is over here and that brings this up to here. Now I want to put this in the proper corner, which is right here. Now that I have this, I want to move the green and white one here with the green center. So I got to move this in, and the way that I'm going to do that is I'd like to take this and move this over here. So while I'm in ready position, yeah, we can actually do an adjacent edge swap to bring this to here, so I can put this with a green here. 2RU, 2RU, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2RU, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay, so that did move this into here, but it took this and it brought it down to here. So what I need to do is the same thing, is that I need to do another swap to get this back, but I want to move this one out of the way. So I'm actually going to take this, I want to move this out of the way, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Alright, now that I have this out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and do another swap to hopefully get this back to here. 2RU, 2RU, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2RU, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay, that worked over here. Now this is set up here. Now, again, this isn't really a tutorial, so I'm not explaining exactly how I did that, but it works. Anyway, I need to take this and move it into here, so I'm going to do an adjacent edge swap to here. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, and lo and behold, you can see I've created this here. What that means is if I move this to here, and then move this out of ready position, you can see this side is now solved. So I've got the equivalent to this over here. Now this is just a matter of doing corner swaps and edge swaps. You can see all of my, so this has all the components in the layer, as does this. They just have to be shuffled around. So the first thing is to get all the corners in, which they are over here, and then I just have to do my centers. here, which I'm going to act as edges. So in this case, I can do an opposite edge swap to move the green here, 2R to U, 2R to U, 2R to U. So then I just do an adjacent edge swap to get these two in, 2R U, 2R U, 2R to U, 2R to U, 2R U, 2R UI, 2R. Now having done that, I can now focus on this and I can do it independently. So now for the final layer, if I don't have any in, I just do a random corner swap, 2R U, 2R UI, 2R, UID, 2R UI, 2R U, 2R. I see two that are in, move it to the left, do another corner swap, 2R U, 2R UI, 2R, UID, 2R UI, 2R U, 2R. This moves back. So now we have a situation where we want to swap these two. But if we do that, we're going to end up with placement issues here. Which is okay because we have an algorithm to get out of that. So if I get this situation, I simply do an adjacent edge swap, 2RU, 2RU, 2R to U, 2R to U, 2RU, 2R UI, 2R. These two have to be flipped, so I can do a URF algorithm. 2U, 2R, 2F, 2U, 2U, 2F, 2R, 2U. So it's a fun puzzle, but it's a simple puzzle. But how does that translate to the last two layers here? The problem with this is I actually have to solve both of these layers at the same time. That's kind of what I have to do because I can't isolate the layers. In other words, if I do a, say a 2R here, I can't isolate one layer versus another. So I've actually got to coordinate both at the same time. So in order to coordinate it, I have to make sure that I get the corners in on both layers at the same time. So you can see in this situation, I've got two in. None of the others are in on this layer, but on this layer I don't have any that's in. So in this case I've got to coordinate it once again where I maintain one set of corners in on this layer and I get another set in. If I hold it like this, once I get into ready position, and I randomly do it, and I do it from this side, what's going to happen is only one is going to be in over here, but all are going to be in over here. So it's going to be uncoordinated, out of sync. If I move this to the back over here, instead of to the left, if I do it to the left, all the corners are going to be in. If I move it to the back, once again, only one corner is going to be in. One corner set's going to be in. Not the same one, but it's just going to be one. And if I move it over here, none of them are going to be in. So I'm going to take this, move this to where the corner is on the back, so that only one is in. Then I can randomly do this top part, so I'll only have one corner set in. So I have to remember what I want to, so I want to swap these two on both sides. So let's move this back here. Get myself in ready position. This will go here, and this will go here. So I'm going to move this here and do my swapping of these two. 2RU, 2R UI, 2R. Turn the puzzle. 2R UI, 2R U, 2R. Once again, get my center back to here. Get the edges back to these corners here. 2R to U, 2R to U, 2R to U. Take this out and just see where we're at. Take this out of ready position. And as you can see on the top layer, I've got two corners that are in. And on the bottom layer, I also have two corners that are in. So in that way, I can always sync them up. So now what I want to do is I want to exchange these two. So I've got to put this in ready position once again, move it out of the way, bring this up, turn this across. So as long as I have these in the right configuration, it'll work. 2RU, 2RUI, 2R. Turn the puzzle. 2RUI, 2RU, 2R. And now we got to get the center, coordinate the green and white with this. 2R to U, 2R to U, 2R to U. Now that this is in, okay, good and good. So now you can see the corners on both these layers are fine. So what I did is I coordinated that and I had to solve them together. Now for the edges slash centers, they're really the same kind of pieces. I once again have to coordinate it where I have to make sure that my last move is doing an adjacent corner swap with both layers. And hopefully it's going to work out. As you can see, this will be put in by an opposite corner swap, opposite edge swap. That's, well, not going to work too well, but if I do an opposite edge swap here, none of them will be in. If I do it here, none of them will be in, so I'm kind of out of luck with the bottom. So what I'm going to do is this. Doing an adjacent edge swap will move these two in. An adjacent edge swap will take this one out, and I'll have three that are out. Gesundheit. That's okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I just want to get in as many as possible and hope that we can coordinate it. So I'm going to flip-flop these two, so I'll have these two in. Flip-flopping these two will take this out, this will remain out, and I'll have one in over here. So let's see if we can coordinate that. So to do that, let's get this into ready position. Move this up over here. And move this over here. Okay, so now we're going to have to move both of these in conjunction with each other. 2RU, 2RU, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2RU, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay, let's see what that did. Let's get ourselves back. And as you can see, I've got everything in except these two. And on the top I just have this one in. So what I'm going to do is if I move these two in, this whole thing will be solved. If I move these two in, then I'm going to have two that are out. If I move it here and I do an adjacent edge swap with both, I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to have the red one in and the green one in, but these two are going to be out, and these two are going to be in. So I'm going to have that parity situation. It's not really parity. Well, it sort of is. It's more of a placement issue. It's not going to be coordinated if I have just one out. So let me show you what's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and do that just to give you an idea of what's going on. And the dilemma of this particular AI puzzle. I'm going to move this over here. Let's go ahead and do our adjacent edge swap. 2RU, 2RU, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2RU, 2R, UI, 2R. And as you can see now, it looks like we're good, but we're really not. I've got this situation. This situation, that situation here, was no problem. I flipped that back, got parity, well, misplacement over here, and I did my URF algorithm. In this case, that's not going to work. So how do I get out of this? Well, in this particular situation, we can call it parity, I guess. But here, that's going to be very difficult to solve. I could try to put it in ready position and just do the top, but that's going to mess up these bottoms here. So the way that this is going to work is if I flip these two are also going to flip, so I'm always going to be stuck. It just depends on what layer you want. However, I've got equivalency of these two greens. I don't have equivalencies of anything else, just these two greens. So I know conceptually, if I flip these two and these two, then that'll be fine. So it's really just a false equivocation of these two centers. These have to flip. So what I need to do is I need to coordinate my ready position where these two will flip adjacently. Now how can I do that? Well, let's do this. We'll move this up, turn this over here, and move this like so. Okay, now these two are now adjacent. So I'm just going to move this over here, and let's go ahead and do that flip where I'm flipping two greens and then I'm flipping this, and it shouldn't mess anything else up. Will it work? Let's give it a try. 2RU, whoop. Alright, I have to make sure that I don't bandage myself, so let's try it over here. 2RU, 2RU, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2RU, 2R, UI, 2R. Now, if my theory is correct, that should have fixed everything. Now, okay, we'll move this back into here. We'll take this down like so, move this over here, take this down, and everything flipped back, and it is solved. So there it is. Very fun, neat little solve. Now, I may have got lucky. There may be some quasi-parity situations just because of the equivalencies of these two pieces. There may be some issues with that I just didn't discover. Maybe I got just lucky with this, but it's a good demonstration of this puzzle. This needs to be mass-produced. It's very well done. So Dahmon 4511, hope I said the numbers right. Thanks so much for this. This was fantastic. An excellent puzzle. This is truly what I enjoy about puzzle solving, because I have to take the algorithms that I know to the next level and try to apply it with this. This took some strategy. This took some kind of lateral thinking on what to do. So I would actually more call this AI Cuboid than a bandaged cuboid, because it's got the right structure for that. But I'm very interested to see other creations that you do and other mods that you do, because you are really getting off to an incredibly good start. Thanks for building, thanks for sending it to me, and thanks for watching.